Hi, I'm Tracy. Welcome to Sweet Bay Lane. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you just a few of the 4th of July DIYs I did for the upcoming holiday. One of the DIYs I wanted to share early because I think it turned out stinking adorable. Look at that little America star sign. I just love it. It was super easy and super affordable, as are the rest of the DIYs I'm sharing today. So let's go ahead and get started. This first DIY is very simple. What I do is I take a patriotic bow, which I think turned out adorable too. You can use this for any bow, pre-made, or you can make your own. And I just dressed it up with these red, white, and blue peony bush I got from Walmart. I start this project by removing one of each of the flowers in the red, white, and blue. Then, for a little more security on the flowers, I add a touch of hot glue behind the plastic disc that holds the stem to the petals. Once that's done and dried, I just attach the flowers to the ribbon tails. Once I get the florals attached to the ribbon, then I attach the florals to themselves a little bit, just on the sides where they're touching. It gives a little more stability and it keeps the florals from spinning around on the tails. Like, say you're going to hang this outside on a wreath, or maybe to decorate a table outside at a 4th of July party. It just keeps them kind of more secure and laying flat. As you'll see here, I'm showing you it with the tails left long, but I did end up trimming my tails. It just fit my wreath that I'm going to be hanging on my front door just a little bit better than with the tails on, but I like it both ways. Moving on to DIY number 2, we're going to be making a little 4th of July shadow box. I start by painting my shadow box white, and I give it a little bit of distressing with some sandpaper. Once that's done, I attach my little cubes. I use 3 of these little wood cubes, and I'm going to use them as little risers for my galvanized star. Now that my galvanized star is attached, I move on to the little wood cutout I got at Hobby Lobby. I think they came in a pack of 8, if I'm not mistaken, and they are really adorable. They come painted red, white, and blue, and for this project, I'm using the July 4th. Once my wood cutout's been attached, we move on to our little ribbon bow. Now I'm making mine like kind of a traditional little fold-over ribbon bow, as you'll see here, and it's going to go on the top of my shadow box. I start by folding the ribbon over and pinching it together. Then I twist the ribbon tail to where it's matching side up and not the rough side up. Once the ribbon's been tied, the little bow, I measure out for the second tail. Now you'll see that the second tail is going to be loose, and I'm going to keep it that way. And you'll see here that I glue the loose ribbon tail to the top of my shadow box. Then I glue the ribbon with the attached tail to the top of that. It just helps it lay a little flatter, and it gives a much better appearance on the sides of the box, in my opinion. I finish up my ribbon detail by just attaching it with some little bitty tiny dots of hot glue on the sides. I crinkle up the little tails, and then I just attach them in their little bins. I think this little shadow box turned out so cute, and it's definitely running a close tie for favorites with this next DIY we're going to do. Moving on to our next DIY number 3, I think this is so adorable. It is one of my favorites. It's the one that I shared in the beginning in my intro. And how I start out is I take a green, it was a regular just green wreath frame in the star shape, and I painted it with some white chalk spray paint. I then take the wooden star and paint it red. Once it's painted and dried, I just take a little bit of sandpaper and I distress the edges. So now that that's done, I need to attach the red wood star to my white wire star. And you could just glue the wood to the wire. It's perfectly fine. But for me, I wanted it to be a little more secure because I'm going to be using it outdoors. So I put them together, I flip them over, and in each corner of the star, I attach a little piece of felt with some hot glue. Great, now that that's done, we're moving on to the embellishments of this project. The embellishments consist of a gorgeous little blue wood cutout that says America. I think these are so stinking cute, and when I saw them at Hobby Lobby, I said, oh my gosh, control yourself, girl, because you don't need 10 packs, you just need one. Now that I have my little America sign attached, I move on to the bow. My bow is just going to be a simple little kind of a shoestring bow with little tails. And as you can tell, I've kept my ribbon the same. I love this ribbon. I found it at Hobby Lobby, and I feel, in my opinion, that ribbon is the one thing that can tie all of your DIYs together and make them very cohesive for, say, like a party, or maybe you're just doing a theme in a room. I think that's the best way to tie something together in a very inexpensive way. Now we're moving on to our fourth and final DIY of this video, and it's going to be this little set of 3 firecrackers. I start this project by prepping it and adding a little bit of painter's tape around each of the wicks. That way I won't get any paint on them. And then I'm going to paint just the ends of each of the firecrackers, the top and the bottom, as you'll see here. Now, once those have been painted and dried, I take the scrapbook paper and I measure each firecracker to the particular style of scrapbook paper that I'll be using. I then cut them in strips with my paper cutter. Now that my scrapbook paper's cut, I take one of the pieces of scrapbook paper and I measure the circumference of the firecracker. I take that measured piece of scrapbook paper, I put it on the other stack, and then I measure them out and cut them with my paper cutter. Now that I have all my paper cut and measured to size to each firecracker, I move on to attaching the scrapbook paper to the wood. And in my opinion, the purple glue stick by Elmer's is the perfect solution to this. I tried hot glue, I tried Mod Podge, both just too messy and sloppy in my opinion. So how you do this is you start by adding a little strip of the glue to the wood firecracker, line up your paper so it goes around straight, and then you'll just take the glue stick and rub it along the wood firecracker, and you'll just press the paper in as you go along. Now, when you get to the end of the paper, you're going to add it to the actual wood firecracker and to the edge of the paper. Then you'll just smooth it right around, and the seam is perfection in my opinion. I just love how this little set of firecrackers came out. Now, I've had this idea in my head for literally probably 3 years, and every year 4th of July would roll around and I wouldn't get to making them. So I'd be kind of sad and say, next year I'm going to do that. Well, next year would come and go. Well, this year I said, that is it for this party. I'm making these little wood firecrackers. I also got a little carried away and made extras. So like I said earlier, if you guys want a set, you can find them over at my Sweet Bay Lane shop. I'll have that listed below, and I'll try to add a link here in the video. Well, that wraps it up for these DIYs. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Also, leave a comment or two. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that, as we'd love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. Until next time, just remember that kindness and a smile goes a very long way.